and they're sending them to these colleges and they're bribing their way into it, you know, and they're literally taking a spot from a person who's deserved it, such as myself. That makes me so emotional, and it makes me so angry.
Hey, beautiful, 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 beautiful angel. Love your imperfections, every anger. Tomorrow comes and goes before you know.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So welcome back to Kel's Place, everybody. It is so good to be back. New week, new videos. So hope you guys enjoyed my last videos last week. Hope all is well. Hope the weekend was great. Hope your St. Patrick's Day was safe. It is now, again, time to go back into a new week. This is my first video of the week. My second video will be on Friday. So I am hoping to do a challenge video with my best friend, Amber. I'm hoping the next challenge we agreed to do was going to be the noodle challenge, the spicy noodle challenge. So let's hope we both have Friday off. I just have to confirm it with her, but I'm pretty sure we can do it on Friday. Finally, something different, something new. Instead of just hearing my story time and my opinions, I'm trying to mix it up as much as possible. Amber still hasn't gotten her AD yet, so we can't do the drunk trivia challenge quite yet. The DMV is taking forever for some reason. We couldn't even go to the bar on Sunday for St. Patrick's Day because she didn't have her ID. So we're gonna have to wait a couple more weeks for her ID. I'm hoping it'll come hopefully this week, next week. Hopefully nothing longer than that. We'll have to see, to be honest with you. So I guess it all just depends on the time limit, but hopefully you enjoy our challenge video this Friday. I am so excited to show you guys. Don't mind my messy hair today. I honestly didn't really care for it today. I was just kind of like, whatever. I had class, so I was really tired. I had a hard time sleeping last night. It's been a crazy week already, and it's barely Tuesday. So let's get things started. So this video is just going to be an opinion video. It's not going to be, obviously not everyone's going to like my video, my opinion. No one's really going to not always agree with it. But I'm just going to put it out there because I've seen a couple videos already, so I wanted to express my opinion as well because I know the struggle of college life. So I know how it is. Because, you know, me and my mom, we don't have a lot of money. I mean, we're like good, like, you know, we have money, like we can take a couple vacations a couple times a year, but like nothing great. Like we can't go like around the world or anything, you know. I mean, in order to take a vacation, we have to end up saving for months just to go, you know, just to go to Vegas. And technically Vegas isn't that expensive. Well, I mean, it can be if you think about it, but again, me and my mom, we're not rich. You know, we have nice things. We like owning nice things, but we don't have like a lot of money, you know what I mean? We still have to take out loans for college and stuff like that. So as you can assume, this video is going to be about the Olivia Jade scandal. So now just a background of what I know what's happened. I don't know all the details. There's probably a couple of things maybe I misheard or something like that. If I say something that's not an actual fact, if just, you know, go ahead and just comment down below and I'll obviously, you know, I'll get back to you. I'm just going to go based off what I've read in articles, what I've seen on the news. I was very, very focused on this whole thing, but at the same time, I might have missed a couple details. So if I miss something, if I say something, just comment and tell me like, hey, no, that didn't actually happen. It's this way. Then I won't care. You know, obviously, again, I don't know everything about this case, but I know enough to give my opinion about it. So just a rough draft if you don't know about the Olivia Jade, or just to recap on the whole thing. So Lori Loughlin, I believe that's how you pronounce her name. So Lori Loughlin, I'm just going to say Lori. Lori, as everyone knows, was the actress Becky on Full House. I'm a huge fan of Full House. I didn't get to watch Fuller House. I really, honestly, wasn't really interested in it. I don't know. Just wasn't for me. The comedy wasn't really for me. You know, it has to be really good for me to watch it. I watched like 2 episodes and I was like, eh. You know, I think a lot of people are like, no, you have to keep watching it to get it, you know, and to love it. I'm like, yeah, but I would rather focus on something else. You know, I have a lot of shows I prefer to watch and everything. But anyways, so Lori Loughlin is Becky on Full House. She is also in When Calls the Heart, which is a Hallmark show. She's in various movies on Hallmark. She's been a couple of movies on Lifetime, but her main domain, like channel, like her network, is Hallmark. That is where she does a lot of her movies, shows, and stuff like that. But of course, she did start from Full House. So there was a thing that just released last week, I believe last week, right? So last week, the college scandal happened. So what happened is that Lori and her husband pretty much paid their daughters to get into USC, along with 50 other parents, from what I've heard. These 50 parents are kind of, I'm not too sure where they're all located. I think they're in different parts. There's different, they live in different parts of California. I don't know if they all reside in California, but I'm not too quite sure about that. I have a feeling they are. I know a lot of them from what I've seen in the news and stuff, in the articles. Most of the parents live in the Bay Area, and I'm very familiar with the Bay Area because I lived in Sacramento, as you know. So a lot of the parents were from there. Lori and her family live in Los Angeles, along with the actress Felicity. I forgot her last name, unfortunately. She is also an actress. She was on Desperate Housewives. I never watched the show, but I'm familiar with her work. She also paid her child, I don't know, again, the facts are kind of fading away because I haven't been too tuned into it really lately in the last couple days. It either happened last week or 2 weeks ago. I'm not quite sure. But I think Felicity has a son, I believe Felicity's son. I believe that was the case. If not Felicity's son, it's her daughter, obviously. I'm not quite sure. But either way, Felicity did the same thing. She paid her child to get into the school. I believe it was about $15,000 to $20,000. But for Lori, for both of her daughters, I think it was combined to be $500,000, so $500,000. So I think that's why Lori's case is a little bit bigger than Felicity, because she gave in a lot of money for her daughters to be in. So from what I know, from what I've read and from what I've seen on the news, Lori pretty much had the daughters' SAT scores faked up, you know, like faked up, that's not even a word. She had them, well, you know, they're not real. She didn't take her SATs. Those weren't her SAT scores. She paid someone to hire up the scores. You know, she pretty much faked the test. She had the documents, you know, a lie. The documents were all a lie. The tests were a lie because she wanted her daughter to get in, both daughters to get into USC. But I think the majority of the people are focusing on Olivia Jade because from Isabella, her oldest, Olivia Jade is actually the most popular. She has like 1.5 million followers on Instagram. She has a YouTube channel with 2 million followers. She does a lot of makeup tutorials and stuff like that. She was even getting her own makeup line with her partnership with Sephora. So that was all happening around the time before this whole college scandal happened. So again, I'm not too quite sure about how the details worked. I know someone was in charge of this whole thing. I think from what I've heard, his name is Rick. I forgot his last name. He was pretty much in charge of this whole thing because this was like from what I've heard, this was like a group thing. All these parents were obviously in on it, you know, to have their, you know, pay to have their kids get into the college that they wanted. But obviously Lori's was a little bit bigger because Lori was the one who offered the most money because of her wealth and stuff like that, because she's a celebrity. She's going to have more money than the other parents. Felicity also has more money than the other parents because she's also famous. So pretty much the SAT scores were totally, you know, they were fake. You know, Olivia never took the test. Obviously, I don't know about Isabella. I don't know if she took the test or not. They really haven't quite said too much about Isabella. That's probably why I don't know too much about her side of the story. But, so what happened is that they pretty much paid off, and this was for all the parents. So they were paying off, like, the coaches, the administration teachers who were involved into accepting the student into the school based on scholarships and stuff like that. So they paid them off. They pretty much bribed them to keep quiet. Like let my kid in, keep quiet, don't see anything, here's this much money. That's how it pretty much went. For USC, for Lori and Olivia, they paid off, I believe, one of the people who worked a part of the administration, I think, and then they paid off the coach. So the coach, what I mean referring to that is that they made it seem that Olivia was part of a crew team. A crew team, I think it's like a rowing thing. I'm not sure, like a rowing team or something like that from her high school. And they made it seem like she was a part of that crew team in her high school when she really wasn't. She's actually never played. She's never ever done crew. She's actually never done it. She's never participated in the sport. She was never on her high school sports team on that at all. I don't think she's ever even done any sport at all. And they pretty much had the photos faked. So Olivia was actually posing for the for the crew pictures, making it seem she was a part of the team, pretty much photoshopping them, and then sending them to USC to make it look like she was a part of the team, which is why she got a scholarship into USC. And that's pretty much how it went down. And a lot of people didn't think Olivia had they didn't think she knew about it. But again, as more details unveiled over the first couple of days, it was shown that she was posing for the pictures. So she knew she didn't join the sport. She knew she wasn't a part of that team on her high school, so she knew what she was doing along with her parents. So she knew that she was getting into USC. She was trying to get into USC on a lie, pretty much. Like, she wasn't a part of the team. Her SAT scores were totally not real. So she knew the whole time. And it is also said and believed that obviously Isabella knew the whole time. Again, they probably paid for Isabella to get in. I don't think they did the whole sports scholarship thing for Isabella. I think that was more focused for Olivia. And I have a feeling it was because of her Sephora partnership, because she's a YouTuber and she wanted to promote with Amazon and crazy things like that. So I think that's why I have a feeling Lori focused more on Olivia with this whole thing. But Isabella did also attend USC as well. So eventually they got caught. This was a whole club, I'm assuming. I don't know if it was an actual club, but either way, all the parents got caught. They fired all the teachers and the coaches or whoever was paid off in the schools, pretty much. They fired all of the employees who were involved because they don't want to, obviously these schools don't want a bad rep, It's like they didn't, I don't know if the school was involved, like the school generally was involved. I don't know personally. A lot of people saying that maybe the school didn't know about it. Again, just certain people that they bribed to pay off. Maybe the school did know about it and now they're just trying to cover up their asses. Like, you never know, because the school's obviously not going to release a statement saying, yeah, we knew the whole time, like that's not going to happen. So I don't know if the whole schools knew about it, like USC or UCLA or whatever, Arizona State. I don't know if those schools knew about it. I knew that obviously a lot of the coaches, the teachers, administration knew about it, which is why they got fired, because they were bribed and they accepted the money and they helped the students get into that school with a lie, pretending to be a part of a sports team or with the money, blah, blah, blah. So again, I'm not sure. I wouldn't be surprised if they knew about it. You have to understand, you guys, this has been going on for years. Rich people paying their kids to get into a spot in school, one of the top schools. It's been a thing since since the 1800s. Literally, this is a typical regular thing. But no one has ever said anything because I don't think it's ever really been publicly known, if that makes sense. I think people have known about it, but it's like, what can they do? But now that this case was obviously it was investigated, and they released the names, they released the kid. I don't think they released the students' identities or anything like that. But they released, you know, of what is going on in this case. And I think people are angry because, yeah, people knew about it. It's not a surprising thing. But now people are probably thinking, well, now we can do something about it because these people were caught. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I've known about it. I mean, of course, I've always had a feeling that rich people were paying off their kids to get into a good school. But I'm glad that they're kind of releasing this case because I think it's just kind of giving hope that finally we can do something about this. Because this isn't right. It is illegal to do this. People who should be going into these schools should be earning it on their own with hard work, good grades, you know, all on their own. These, you know, kids who come from rich families, yeah, that's fine if you want to go to college, but do it the right way. Study hard. Get tutors. If you struggle, get tutors. You know, don't bribe and don't lie on your SAT scores or pretending about being in a sport or whatever the case is. It's not right because it's taking an opportunity from a hardworking student to want to get into that school. And you guys have to understand, I mean, the people who are outside looking at this, such as myself, I come from a single mom. You know, like, my parents got divorced when I was 4 years old. My dad has never helped with my education. It's all my mom. My dad's just the Disneyland dad. You know, he's just kind of like, hey, want to go on a vacation for a week? He'll drop me back off. Okay, have fun in school. You know, let me know if I need it. Let me know if you need my moral support. That's how my dad was. He was there for moral support. He wasn't there for financial support. He didn't give me a lot of money. The most my dad had ever given me was like $200. And I used that for a computer. You know, it's just, you know, my dad wasn't there financially for me, and my mom was, and my mom's a single mom. My mom doesn't make a lot of money, you guys. My mom makes like $30,000 a year after taxes, and that is so little compared to a lot of people. I mean, yeah, it's something, obviously. I'm not saying that we aren't taken care of. We have food on our table every night. We're able to take a couple family vacations a year. You know, I'm not saying we're poor. I'm just saying a lot of the time, my mom had to scrape for money to send me to college. She's a single mom. She doesn't have much money. My grandparents had to help her because that's how little money my mom had. You know, because we still have the mortgage on the house. We have the bills, the phone bills, the electricity, the water bill. We live with my grandparents, so my grandparents obviously paid for some of that, but it was still hard. And I remember when I first was going to graduate from community college a couple years ago when I had gotten my first associates for transfer. And I remember, and I was like, I wanted to apply to like 5 schools at least. My number one pick was actually Fresno State, but I never got into Fresno. But it was like Fresno, Long Beach, LA, Sacramento, Channel Islands. I applied to 5 schools. I got into 6 schools though. Another school where I didn't apply to actually accepted me, so that was kind of interesting. Oh no, I'm sorry. I applied to 6 schools, but I got another I got an admission into another one without even applying. But technically I applied to 6 schools, you guys. I applied to 6. I got into 4 out of the 6 schools. Technically I got into 5 schools because there was one school I actually didn't apply to that I got accepted to. So I got into 5 schools. But in case you don't know this, depending how old you are when you're watching this video, but when you do a college application, it is $100 for every college application that you fill out. And that's insane to me. That is literally insane because it's so expensive already and you're not even going into the school yet. I'm sorry, did I apply to 7 schools? I'm trying to think back. I applied to Fresno State, Long Beach, LA, Sacramento, Channel Islands, Bakersfield. Yeah, I applied to 6. Okay, just making sure. But it is $100 per application. My mom, from her own pocket, spent $600 alone just to get an application in. And that's even before a rejection or an acceptance letter. And $600, you guys, so that's a lot of money. I mean, I couldn't do anything to help my mom because I was only working part-time at the time. So I think maybe I gave her a little bit of money towards the applications, but it was mostly my mom paying for that. I went to all the schools, I toured the schools, I definitely made a really hard decision on where to go to. My top 2 choices were Cal State LA and Sacramento, but in the end I chose Sacramento because I absolutely fell in love with Sacramento. Like, if you guys haven't been to the Sacramento State campus, it is beautiful. It's trees everywhere. It's gorgeous. It's like a forest. It's an amazing and most beautiful school. I'm proud that I went there. I mean, I failed out of it, but I'm proud to at least to have attended university. I dropped out with a lot of emotional problems and stuff, and now I'm in the process of getting my GPA fixed by having to go through the school again. That's another story, though. But what I'm just trying to say is that my mom had to scrape for money to get me to college, and then I was going to a college 6 hours away. I had to get a dorm, which is expensive. A dorm is $1,200 to $1,300 a month, and that was just Sacramento. I don't know about Yale, Stanford, Harvard, or any other college campus. They must be even more expensive than that, because mine was only $1,200 a month, and that was insane to me. In the end, we lost our spot in the dorm because they filled up so freaking fast, so we weren't sure how it was gonna work. So in the end, I got a college apartment. Now there's these college apartments that are they're literally called college apartments that are located near the school. They have shuttles and buses that take you to school. They're affiliated with the college, but not exactly. So they're not like the college dorms apartments, but they're just like apartments outside, and they're just apartments are owned by a different company. Sorry, my camera got cut off. So I had to stay into one of the college apartments. And I think my rent was $700 to $800 for 2 years. That's a lot of money, you know? Like, I know a lot of people are just saying, wow, like, that's really cheap. No, it was for one room, like my room. Like, we had individual leases, so all of our individual leases were different, but mine was $700 to $800, and that's insane to me. Like, for a room to share with other people, like, yeah, the apartments were nice. They were brand freaking new. Like, these apartments were just built the year that I moved in, so they were gorgeous. And I lived in a wonderful apartment complex with a gym and a pool and everything. It was beautiful. It was like for rich people, honestly. I felt so blessed. And technically $700 to $800 is not a lot of money to some people. You know, to Lori Loughlin, that's probably like $700 to $800. That's freaking like $1 to her probably. For my mom, it's a fortune. And my mom paid $700 to $800 for 2 years that I went to Sacramento State. And that's not even including the food, you guys, or the sorority that I was in. That was a lot of money. The food, I spent food like $150 a month on food. And then sometimes I ate out with my friends. I had the sorority. I paid with the sorority by myself. My sorority was $750, if you don't see my last video about me talking about the sorority. That was my money. So I did that on my own. But my mom had to pay for the gas, the apartment, the college tuition. You know, like my college tuition was, Jesus, how much was it? It was like dang it, I forgot how much it was. I believe it was $6,000 a year. I can't quite remember how much my college tuition was, to be honest with you. Yes, it was I believe it was like $6,500 a year. So dividing that, it was about $3,000 per semester. And then I got financial aid. I got like $5,000. I got $7,000 a year. So my mom covered that with some college tuition. But we were getting so low on money that my mom actually had to take out a loan for $5,000 because we were struggling because I only got $7,000 in tuition money, but they only give you half of it per semester because that's how it worked for this. That's how it works for the CSUs. But so my mom, the first year we were fine, but the second year we were struggling a lot. She was struggling, so she had to take out a loan for $5,000. And you guys, I still have to pay that loan. Just because I dropped out of college doesn't mean that my loan goes away. I'm back in school, so that loan is on hold. But if I ever stop going to school, the interest is going to go up like $200 a month. And then eventually 5,000 is going to turn to 10,000. 10,000 is going to turn to 20,000. That's how interest works, especially for a college loan. So we're trying to put in as little money as possible. We're putting in like $100 a month so I can pay off that loan slowly. And then I still have, and the crazy thing is, I still have to take off loans, you guys. I still need to get loans, because what if I still don't get financial aid when I transfer to my next university? I'm now doing my taxes by myself, so my mom thinks I'll get more money from the state now, which hoping, but if I don't, then I have to pay off these loans, and I'll probably have to pay them off for like ever, like for the rest of my life, because that's how expensive these loans are. But what I'm trying to say is, it's not easy coming from a single mom, or even with parents who are still married who still make little money. It's a struggle. And my mom struggled to send me to school. She, and then you guys, she still had to pay my insurance, my car, like my insurance, my car, my rent, my food, my books, my tuition, taking out a loan. Like, that's a lot of money. A lot of money. Like, a crazy amount of money. My mom probably spent over $20,000, or maybe less than that. A little bit, well, yeah, around there, just to send me to school. That's insane. And when I see people like Olivia Jade and Lori and her daughters, or her husband, or Felicity's kids, or these other 50 parents' kids, and they're sending them to these colleges, and they're bribing their way into it, and they're literally taking a spot from a person who's deserved it, such as myself, that makes me so emotional, and it makes me so angry. It's because my mom worked so hard to send me to school, and she's still working hard. My mom is back in school now, trying to get her degree. And my mom suffered so much just trying to do it for me, because she wants me to get my education, and she's still gonna help me. She's still gonna help me pay off my loan. She's still gonna help me go to a university. She's still gonna help me financially. So when I see these people posing for crew or for stuff like that, and it's like, it makes me so mad that these parents are just lying their way in just to get their kid in, and they are taking a well-deserved spot from someone like me, or even less unfortunate, someone who probably doesn't even have parents, or they really don't have any money, and they've worked their butts off just to get into that school. They've tried, and it's just ripped out from under them from these people who think that they have these advantages, and they technically do, but it's like, it's morals. It's all about morals. It's like, these people need to have morals in their life and values, and to me, they don't have it. And Olivia was going through a lot of cyberbullying from what I saw on Instagram. And a lot of people, and you know what the thing is that I don't even look at it as cyberbullying, because they are literally stating facts. Like, people were saying, you don't deserve that spot. You stole that spot from someone. How can you live with yourself? And honestly, that's what I would ask the same thing. Like, how can they live with themselves knowing they took an opportunity away from another child, another student? That is so selfish. And it's just to get their reputation up. It's just to get their ego up. Olivia didn't even want to go to school. They did interviews on her. She hated school. She didn't like going to school. She didn't want to go to college. She didn't want to do any of this. She just wanted to promote her channel. She wanted to promote herself, promote Amazon, Sephora. She just wanted her partnership with Sephora. And it was all about their image. And in the end, it got to them because they were caught. Lori has lost her jobs. Hallmark wants nothing to do with her because Hallmark is a Christian-based channel network, and she's now a felon. So Hallmark wants nothing to do with her. Fuller House wants nothing to do with her. They fired her too, because they're also a Christian-based show, and they don't want anything to do with her. They don't want to work with the felon, and be exposed to that, to the children watching the show. And Olivia, she dropped out of school with her sister. I've heard that they left school because they don't want to go back and face the people there. And Olivia has lost her partnership with Sephora. Sephora fired her. They let her go because they don't want to work with someone or who comes from a family like that. Because Olivia knew the whole time that what she was getting herself into. She knew she was lying her way into USC. And I'm sure all these students, these 50 other students, knew that they were lying their way in just so they can get a spot. The guy who did all this, Rick or whoever whose name it is, it's like, how can you live with yourself knowing that you did something so horrible to all of the other students who deserved those spots that these others who don't even like school or have never worked a day in their life, and got into a school just like that, just because they have money, just because they're celebrities? It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense when I have my mom working 8 to 9 hours a day, busting her butt for her, and her going to school, I'm going to school again, and it doesn't make sense to me. This thing doesn't make sense. I'm not for cyberbullying. Obviously, a lot of the comments were a little bit hurtful. They were a little bit too much, but it's like if you don't want to face the consequences of your actions, then don't do it. Don't do it. Be a good person. Have humanity and do the right thing. And these people, all these people, Olivia, Lori, these 50 parents, Felicity, her kid, they didn't do the right thing. And now, karma exists. Now karma is getting back at them for what they did. And it's hard to feel sorry for people like that. It's because, you've done so much damage. It's like, you did something so wrong and so illegal. And it's like, and you don't, and the thing is, the way I look at it, I feel like Lori doesn't think she did anything wrong. I get wanting to do the best for your kids and encouraging them to go to college, but do it the right way. Hire tutors, encourage them to study, talk about how college is so important, the way my mom did with me, and do it the right way. And the thing is, I was talking to my mom about this, and my mom said this, and this is how I'm going to end my video. My mom said, the most saddest, though, part of this whole thing is that these parents felt the need that they had to buy their kids their way into the college. That's what's the most saddest thing, is because these parents bribed their kids into this college, whatever campus they wanted them to go to, instead of just working hard, telling them to work hard, get tutors, hiring as much help as they needed in the classes, the subjects, the reading, the writing, the math. These parents bribed their kids into college because they themselves don't believe that their kids can do it on their own. And my mom said that's the most saddest part of all, is that these parents it's a reflection how much these parents don't believe in their own kids. That they felt like they had to and needed to buy their kids into college because they feel like they wouldn't do it on their own. And that is so depressing to me. That is so sad, because my mom believed I can do it, and I did. I got into 5 universities on my own with hard work that I did by myself. And if my mom didn't believe in me, that would crush me. Like, it would crush my humanity. It would crush my heart. My mom is all that I have. It's like, if she didn't believe that I can get into college, then that's so awful. And that's what these parents felt like they needed to do, because they honestly did not believe in their kids. That's the bottom line. These parents did not believe in their kids. They didn't believe their kids could get into a good college on their own. And that's so sad, because it's taking an opportunity away from another student who has worked since the beginning, day one, to get into a good school, to get scholarships, to get on the crew team into a scholarship, or whatever sport they've done. It's just sad. And that's my opinion on this whole thing. You know, and I hope that I hope Lori and her husband and all these 50 parents are charged. I really do. I hope that they are charged. I hope they pay a huge fine. I don't know about prison time. I mean, I wouldn't want any families ripped apart from this, but if this is what God wants, then this is how you're going to pay for your actions and for your consequences. I just hope that everything turns out okay. And from now on, the schools keep better eye on the kids who do deserve to get into these college campuses. But anyways, you guys, that's it for me. I just wanted to express my opinion on this whole Olivia Jade scandal and the college scandal in general. This is how I feel. I'm going to ask you for no hate. Express your opinion. How do you feel about this whole thing? Do you think Lori deserved to get fired? Do you think Olivia Jade deserves all the hate, or with her sister? Does she or does she not? How would you resolve this? You know, how are you going to teach your kids in the future? Do you think Lori did the right thing for the wrong reason? Blah, blah, blah. Just tell me your opinion on this. That's it for me. I have said what I needed to say. Again, no hate comments, please, below. I will remove it if it is very hateful towards me. But you are able to freely express your opinion on the matter as long as it's not very hateful and negative towards me, like me personally. But that's it for me, you guys. It's been a great day. I'm having a good day so far. I'm glad to upload this video for you guys. I will see you guys next time. I'll see you Friday for the challenge video. Hopefully that Amber will agree to do fight with me finally. I'm so excited for these next coming challenges. And hopefully she gets her ID soon too. But anyways, you guys, so I'll see you guys next time. That's my first video for the week. Don't forget to like my social media down below, my Instagram, my Twitter, and my follow me on Snapchat, also at the end of the video as well. I also made my Instagram page public. I guess it was still on private and I completely forgot. So I now made it public, so now you're freely able to follow me on Instagram and Snapchat as well. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good week, you guys. Bye!